Welcome to the Dysfunction Junkies podcast. We may not have seen it all, but we've seen enough. And now, here are your hosts, Chrissy and Carrie.
Hello, junkies. I'm Carrie.
And I'm Chrissy.
How are you doing today, Chrissy?
You know, I'm doing well. In our last episode, we talked a lot about St. Patrick's Day and the joy of it for a lot of people and the involvement and having a very good time.
Yes.
And I got to go back to this Blarney Stone thing because after we talked about it, you went online and I've heard about the Blarney Stone, but I never really was interested enough to look it up. I encourage everybody out there to see what the hell is going on here, because this is bad. And we're not Irish. We're not part of Ireland. We have no say in this, but I might encourage some other people. She's showing me a picture right now, which she showed me earlier. They have a woman, I'm guessing it's a woman, upside down on her back.
Yes.
I mean, this is questionable on so many levels. It looks like she's in a guillotine or whatever you call that thing.
Oh my gosh, it does. You're right.
And they're going to take her head any minute.
This is not an easy position.
No.
Like, this isn't, like, you have to be somewhat flexible to kiss this Blarney Stone.
Well, it looks like she's hovering, like in The Exorcist, above the ground. And it does appear there's a priest, which this is just wrong on so many. Is that gentleman a priest?
I don't think he's a priest. I think he's just a worker there.
His choice of clothing is poor at best because it's black and it looks like a priest. You're basically turning your head upside down.
Yes. I'm trying to find another view for you.
It looks like a torture. I have to just say, I hope that they're having a lot of good luck. More. Yeah, definitely. I would ask my junkies out there to Google this if you're interested.
We'll put one on our Facebook page.
Yeah, it's fascinating.
Yeah. I would have, see, now this view here, look at that gap. I mean, that's high up. This is at the top of a castle. So anyone with a slight fear of heights, you're bending over backwards, putting your head down through this hole to kiss the stone. That's got to be slightly.
Yeah. Who's cleaning that? That's you got to have
look
a
at that
stick.
Wall. Look how dirty that wall is. Look at the black staining on that.
What? I can only guess when the foundation of this castle is dating back to, because over there stuff is not. It's not America old. It's Europe old. It's Ireland. I understand Ireland's not Europe. Ireland old.
This is like several stories up in the air. This isn't the ground.
What if you slid through? Is there like a gap there you could slide through?
That's what I'm saying. I mean, a thin person could probably fit through that, but look at all the icky. It's like when you go into the doctor's office and the chair's against the wall and you see the grease stains above every chair from people's heads. That's what's on this wall.
I remember that from our fellow classmates when we were in high school because of that stuff that we used to put in our hair. Yeah. Do you ever remember they'd lean up against the chalkboard and they'd leave a mark on the chalkboard from that good old...
I'm just talking about like any place in general, but still, look at that's human body oil on that wall.
I understand that. And have you noticed in the pictures you showed me, these women are questionable as far as their level of enjoyment in life?
Well, there's a couple guys. Look at this person's stuck.
Can I see maybe someone of a larger capacity?
There is no one of size.
Because they ain't going to be able to stop you if you go down.
See, look at here. You can see the spacing
Although I guess
of the
you
bars.
won't be able to slide through the little envelope there.
Yeah, really.
Wow.
Yeah. So we'll post this picture, but yes.
And we're sorry. We're not trying
this
to
is
like
how tall the castle is.
Yeah, and stuff there. It's like usually up on a hill. It looks like from pictures. And Ireland's a beautiful country. Beautiful.
I mean, I would love to go see some of these castles and stuff because I do think that would be really cool. But you wouldn't get. No, I would not be kissing.
The way you were describing it, I thought it sounded like when you go into an MRI or something. They slide you through that little circle. No. I'll have an MRI before I kiss the Blarney Stone, I guess. I don't know. Oh, boy. All right. Anyways. Well, we needed to revisit that because I just couldn't believe what I was seeing.
Blarney Castle is almost 600 years old. So
600 years
It was built
old.
in 1446.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's impressive.
That's
And they're
actually
still
probably
standing.
considered fairly new for
It could be.
Ireland. But.
Yeah. So updates. Let's see what's going on. So, life at the farm and everything is still clicking away, still waiting for spring to come. On the mom update, it's been a little challenging with mom ever since Christmas. She really hasn't, she got sick, and then it's really been kind of a slow, she has a couple bad days, and she has a good day, and then a couple bad days, and then a good day. And it's just been really a struggle. It's been really difficult to see her decline in that way and needing more care and everything. And so it's hard. It's hard when you see your family member declining. It's like how do I word it? You're losing that, you've already lost them in some ways because they're not the same people as they were before. Now I'm taking care of this adult child and, and they're just not the parent of the past. And so you're mourning the loss of your parent, even though they're still here. So how are things on your front? How's everything going?
Parent update?
Yeah, parent update.
Okay, well, I'll give you a full update.
Okay.
I like to. My dad is still dead. So there's one parent update out of the way.
Oh, Chrissy, you never ceased. Good to know. Dad has not risen from the dead.
No.
Okay, good to know.
No, Mom is fine. Again, just trying to, help her, get her what she needs. As an adult and just interacting with my mother at this level, coming to terms with you learn to know your mom in a different way, your parents in a different way.
Oh, yes.
And my father's been gone for a while, so I really did not get to go to this point with him.
Right. You're right. Yeah.
He was still the dad. Mm-hmm. He still had a lot to say and do, and was still very independent. His illness came on quickly, and unfortunately, we lost him pretty quickly. So I didn't really deal with a long period of time of decline. It was very fast.
Yeah.
But my mom is very needy. And this is probably not any problem on her part.
Yeah.
It's the fact that I have always been the one who's needy.
The shoe is on the other foot.
And somebody in the house, and my husband understood this, I think, early on, and has expressed his unhappiness with it a lot in the past 30 years.
Yeah.
At times.
Yeah.
But he gets it.
Yeah.
Like I said, my husband gets me. I'm very lucky in that. Doesn't mean he likes it.
Right.
But he has to take the good with the bad. I sometimes try to understand what is he getting out of it that's good. Sometimes I try to ask him and then he falls asleep. He doesn't tell. I actually try to ask him that. I know he's going to fall asleep. I don't want to be told anything I don't want to hear. But yeah, my mom is real needy, and I just probably never noticed this.
Right.
Because I was needy.
Right.
I want, give. Don't bother me. I don't want you around. So now that I'm really focused on her and trying to help her, there's a lot of needs there that I find myself having some hostility about.
Yeah.
Because I just am not wired that way to be a caregiver. But I'm trying.
It's like you said before, you were not micromanaged as a child. So it's hard. This is a big adjustment for you to micromanage as an adult to your parents, you know, because it's not how you were. This was not part of your growing up. It wasn't part of your family's dynamics. So
no. And although it was not micromanaged, I was the victim, if you want to use that word, of being put in situations that I find myself horrified by now that I've been a parent for a while.
Okay, like
that
what?
I would not do.
Like what?
Well, exposing your children to certain things that they probably don't need to be exposed to. Well, one episode we talked about the superstitions and stuff.
Oh, yes. Yes.
And understanding... My mother, obviously, and there's no logical explanation for any of these superstitions.
Right.
One other thing, I'm not going to touch on the ones, please go back. It's a very good episode, I think, of certain things you just get fed that you're supposed to do to avoid bad luck, I guess, or something horrible happening to you.
Blarney stone.
And I don't think I touched on this, and if I did, remind me. But the one thing she did do to me was I had this beautiful ring that she bought me when I think I was 16.
Okay.
And it had some little diamonds in it, and then the middle part was an opal.
Okay. No,
Did
you
we
hadn't
talk
talked about this. No.
Okay, so I had an opal, but the opal is not my birthstone.
Okay.
But it is a stone that I think is very pretty, and I liked it. Mm-hmm. Well, my mother decided after a while, I probably didn't even have the ring a year, that my luck wasn't running as good as it could be.
Oh my gosh.
So she took away my ring, and she took the opal, she took it to a jeweler, and had the opal removed and replaced with some piece of turquoise, which is...
Is that your birthstone?
No.
Oh.
But I don't know that it's actually established for... It might be. I don't know if turquoise is anybody's birthstone.
Oh.
I don't know why she thought that was a neutral stone. But the opal was gone.
Oh, that's horrible.
I still have my ring.
Oh.
It's put away. I don't wear it.
Yeah.
Because in my mind it was damaged. But
right.
Yeah, so she felt because I was wearing an opal that was not my birthstone, it was bringing on...
Bad luck.
Bad luck.
Oh.
So, don't know where this came from. Is anybody... So there she destroyed my jewelry. The other thing is she decided that my self-confidence was not where it should be. And so she decided, I don't know how she arranged this, but she did because my mother was good at arranging certain things. If she put her mind to it, generally she was doing her own thing. But then if she felt she needed to do something, usually that was going to turn bad. She somehow scored me into a pageant because she felt that would help build my self-confidence.
And how old were you?
16. At 16, you're going
This must have been like right about when we met.
It was, we were friends.
Yeah.
Because I remember telling you about it.
Yeah. Why didn't I get to go to this pageant though?
Well, for what? It was awful. It was so awful. And I know there's a culture.
Yeah.
And there have been movies and TV shows about it. And
Yeah.
I'm going to tell you right now, just from my experience,
Yeah.
they are horrible things.
Aww.
And they do not build
Confidence.
self-confidence. Any girl that I met, this was my one and only forte in this. That's why I don't know who the hell she finagled with to get me in this, because I was not a regular participant in these things. Everybody who I met, and it was for the state. It was a finalist in the state of Ohio.
Oh.
Teen pageant.
Oh my gosh.
But maybe that's an organization. I don't know. Maybe there's several of them.
Yeah.
There probably is.
Yeah.
But I was able to do one where it was in the Capitol, down in Columbus.
Okay.
And there were 50 girls competing from all over the state.
Huh. I wonder why not 88? Because we have 88 counties in the state of Ohio.
It wasn't really by county. It was
okay.
more by city
Okay.
or
Regions or
area.
something. Yeah. Okay.
So it does not build self-confidence.
No.
You are competing with, first of all, what I would call career pageant girls.
Oh, yeah.
They've been doing it since childhood.
Yes. Yes.
That is, and they go to one the following weekend,
Right.
and they find these things.
Yes.
They were off my radar until my
And
mother
that's
did
an
this.
expensive hobby. I don't know if the hobby is the right word, but it's expensive to be in those. Those aren't cheap to do, between your wardrobe and the makeup and the hair extensions and everything else.
No, and you get slammed into, you have to rehearse for an opening number. Mm-hmm. Never been one for choreographed dance. I wanted to be, but was not. I so much so that I don't even like those dances that you do at the bar or at weddings, where
You're not like a Cupid Shuffle fan?
Cupid Shuffle.
I
know the
right,
electric.
to the right, to the right, to the right.
Oh, I know the electric slide.
Yeah, they usually play that right after, but
yeah. In fact, I made
the Macarena.
Oh my God, no! Someone's
my
going to
God.
get hit by me. I'm just going to swing my arm the wrong way, and you're going to get slammed. I'm going to step on your feet. I hate those dances so much so that I requested at my wedding to the band that played. I said, "Do not play any
No
of
line
those,
dancing.
No line dancing, and no chicken thing where
Oh,
people
come on,
No, and
Chrissy.
we did not have that stuff. No, I did not want it. I ruined everybody else's fun, but I didn't want it.
Did you have a cookie table?
Oh yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, at least you went with that tradition of our area. In Youngstown area is big on the cookie table.
Yes,
thing, so.
you have to have the cookie table. And the other thing I will talk about too in a minute, when you talk about parents who have you do things, my father was specific in what he expected, because he did pay for most of the wedding, being the father of the bride. My husband and I, we saved up because we were engaged for a while, so we did save up and pay for many things too, but he felt he was the dad. He had expectations, and you were going to follow him. Yeah, so the pageant thing, if anything, it just totally destroys you.
Wow.
Of course, I did not win. I don't know.
Well, when you're going against these people that this is their lifestyle, you're the underdog.
And,
so.
and you don't. I don't even know. Maybe at 16 you think you have a chance,
right?
And maybe you do. I guess it's like the law. I mean, who says? But yeah, no, I was not polished to do all of this, and it made it worse.
Yeah.
But Mom thought it was going to help, and it was kind of humiliating.
Wow, I'm sure it was. See, you needed to be, okay, here's the other side of the coin. Although my parents didn't make me do anything, like they didn't push me into anything, but the one thing they did encourage, and of course I wanted to do, was 4-H. And 4-H, for me, accomplished everything that it sounds like your mom was hoping that the pageants would accomplish for you. Mm-hmm. But it did. So it gave me confidence. It gave me speaking skills. It gave me, I am forever speaking highly about 4-H, and I encourage parents to let their kids do 4-H because it did build all those things.
Did they have 4-H for us inner city kids? Because I don't remember that being an option, and I might.
Yes, 4-H just isn't about the animals. Although for us, a lot of it was.
What else was it?
Well, they had there was a 4-H where you could do make clothing if you were into design and.
I couldn't make clothing.
Design and fashion.
Life. You mean you used a pattern?
Yeah, but I mean, I wasn't in that because I wasn't into that. But what I'm saying is there are other things that doesn't have to do with agricultural for 4-H for kids.
They needed to tell us that.
Right. Yeah.
Because I always disconnected 4-H here where I live now with families.
Oh, I'm sure it's huge.
It's huge.
Yeah.
And families... and I would have to say, it's wonderful.
Yeah.
I see nothing but positive experiences.
Oh, no. It was, in fact, I love to this day. So we have the Canfield Fair, and that's one of the largest county fairs this side of the Mississippi. Mm-hmm. I love going there, and I will sit and watch those 4-H kids and they're judging, and it brings back the best memories for me because that did build confidence. That built so much character for me. It taught you poise. It taught you how to speak in public. It taught you how to work hard for something, it's a responsibility. There was so much that it taught you, and it was such a good experience. But again, my parents didn't make me do that, but
you were self-motivated.
Well, it was just such a thing that was around us that it was like, oh yeah, I want to be in 4-H, and then Girl Scouts. That Girl Scouts was probably, the one thing that my mom probably not made me do, but encouraged me because her best friend was a troop leader. I didn't enjoy Girl Scouts as much as 4-H. Girl Scouts I was not popular enough. So it was kind of cliquey.
Is that a cliquey thing?
Oh, it felt like
well,
at least where I grew up.
We have a listener who was also a subject to some story that I brought up about having interaction with neighborhood kids.
Yes.
And I still interact with her. Mm-hmm. She lives a state over.
Okay.
We're going to call her Fingers. Until I can get permission from her in writing that I'm allowed to say her name, I'm not going to say it. Lovely girl. And I really did actually love her growing up, even though I did try to ruin her hands as much as I could. So Fingers, she was a Girl Scout.
Oh, was she?
And a brownie.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and I used to like to mess with her. I mean,
of course.
Yes, a brownie. Look at you and your little thing with your patches.
Chrissy, you're a little bully.
A little bit, yeah. But that's probably because I was being forced to do humiliating things
probably.
And, you got to humiliate others when you're humiliated all the time. So it's just another dysfunction of growing up that's instilled, in you. The other thing is, there was a person in the community, a lot of people knew who this person was, and my mom wanted me to be in the arts, especially with singing and music. That was her push. Which,
well, you still have a beautiful voice. Your singing was.
I always
you would have been, if America's Got Talent or all those, The Voice would have been happening when we were, in high school.
Oh, I'm sure my mother would have humiliated me with that. Yes, of course.
But you would have made it.
I would, no, because here's the thing with that. There are a lot of people who can sing. I could sing, but the other part of that formula is you have to have the ambition. I had talent and no ambition. So if you don't have that other half, in some cases, I would say that part is more important than talent. Because there are a lot of people who are famous who don't necessarily have a talent as great as they think, but that ambition will carry you.
That's a good observation.
And I just wasn't, because it took effort. And I was, effort was something that came and went with me in spurts.
Yeah.
I would be ambitious one day, and the next day I was a slug. So, but this person, she thought might be able to offer me advice on going into a career in that area.
Okay.
Why, I don't know. But they were fairly famous in the area we were from. A lot of people knew who this person was, personality. And somehow my mother, again, with this arranging, and my mother was out there sometimes wheeling and dealing. I said she was a stage mother, but she never went to the stage. She made the deals.
Right.
And then threw you out there, and I made this deal. She's like Colonel Tom Parker. Making crappy deals and making me go out and look like an ass, man. But I had to go to dinner with this person.
Oh my gosh.
And
there was quite a bit of an age difference.
Yeah.
Yes.
He's like grandparent age to me at that time.
Wow.
And I had to have dinner with him a few times.
Is that awkward?
Very.
Oh.
Always a very nice person.
Yeah.
Never inappropriate on any level. I never understood what was expected of me. He did talk to me about certain things. It was awkward. Oh. And my mother was not there with me. She sat away.
Oh, so she was in the restaurant, but just sat at the bar and watched you from afar?
I think so.
Oh,
she was never at our table.
Wow. Yeah, my parents never put me in that situation.
Yeah. And then I was going to circle back around with something with my dad that he did when we were talking before this.
Well, my parents... So we were talking about parents doing embarrassing things. So my parents never really, like my mom, she was kind of very quiet and very shy in public, where my dad was the extrovert. But my dad would embarrass me because he was almost flirty. And all the divorced moms would always be clinging on him, like always. And that used to embarrass me and upset me. But they never really did like, things that would, I could say, embarrass me. But I don't know. Maybe I was just too naive to know what to be embarrassed about. I have no idea.
Well, you and I both have a situation with our parents, you with your mom, me with my father.
Yes.
That most people, especially the age that we were, would say this was embarrassing. But at the time, now you might have a different experience, but at the time, my father participating in this, I was not really embarrassing.
Okay.
But I can kind of appreciate that children our age, at the time, which I've been in like 12, 13-ish, would be very embarrassed by. My father was a clown.
Yes.
And I'm not saying, he's a clown, man. No, he was legitimately a clown.
Right.
He had a clown name. He had clown makeup. He had a clown motorcycle with a flipping beep, beep horn on it. Yay.
Was it a little?
Yes, it was. A ridiculous little stupid scooter
What
thing.
was his clown name? I remember
Sad. Which wraps up my childhood.
I do remember your dad being a clown.
And he thought he was like the cat's meow.
Yeah.
He had a flippin' stamp. Because the whole thing with the clowns where we were from was we had a local, it was a Masonic organization that he was very much involved in, had a yearly circus, which was very respected, very looked forward to. And it was the circus with a purpose, I think.
Yeah, they did. They were benefiting children, I thought.
They
children
were.
with cancer,
was a good cause.
or was it children with...
They did. I mean, the Masonics did a lot with participating in things.
Children with disabilities or something.
Yes, very much so.
Yeah.
So I'm certainly not going to louse up that group of people who are doing nice things and benefiting that. But Dad decided he wanted to do this. And believe it or not, at the time, especially around the circus time, these clowns were celebrities.
Yeah, they were.
Big time.
Big time. Mm-hmm.
There was one guy who was the famous clown of them all, the Mac Daddy.
Who is that?
Soupy. I remember his name was Soupy. You probably remember. Everybody remembers Soupy.
I totally
I recently went to an event at a hall that is now this place, the
oh my gosh.
Masonic organization my dad belonged to with the circus that represented the circus. They used to be way out in Canfield.
Yes.
A long time ago. That's where their lodge was.
Yes.
It recently has moved. And I have a nephew and a brother-in-law who are involved in this organization. Same one my dad was involved in. And we were at the hall for an event. And they have a picture of this clown still on the wall.
That.
And it startled me when I saw it because I was like, it's Soupy.
I remember that. In fact, now that you're saying that, that might have been the whole thing of why my mom decided to be a clown. And so, but she was a clown for a little organization called Fools for Christ. And they would dress up as clowns and they would go to like nursing homes and do visiting. And, you know, like that was their mission there.
Equally doing very good things.
Yes. And so her name was Daisy.
Okay.
And then she roped me into doing it with her. And my name was Penny. And I just remember I had this really big penny. It was like the size of a dinner plate penny. And like that was the kick. And hers was Daisy. And so, but what's funny is to this day, and my mom and all of her, you know, like when we moved her out of her house and everything, she has this tiny little picture in an oval frame of her dressed up as the clown. And it still sits by her bed.
Aww.
Yeah. Now that you're saying that Soupy, this boom.
Well, there
memories.
was some big time. I mean, and kids our age knew these. We would go. Our schools would take you to the circus as a field trip.
Yes,
it was a big deal to go.
It was a big deal.
They had programs. On the back of the program was the autograph page, and your goal was to get all of those clowns to sign that. My father, who was artistic, he actually did draw some of the covers. I think I still have those put away somewhere, all of his covers that he drew for the program. Yeah, my father, though, was funny because all those clowns used to sign. He got, and maybe he learned this from somebody else, but he had a stamp made.
So he would just stamp them?
My father is very, you know, I'm too good to sit here and say, boing, sad, boing, sad, boing, sad. Dad sad. What's your dad's clown name?
Sad.
Dad sad.
That is so funny. But see, it wasn't embarrassing though to you.
As much as I'm guessing people are listening and saying that would be horrifying at like 13 years old to say your dad's a clown, he's dressed up, he's on this stupid scooter.
It
at
wasn't.
the time, no.
No,
because in our area,
it was a big thing.
It was kind of a big thing.
Right.
And when I would go to the circus, not only was he a Mason, so you got kind of special treatment there.
Yeah.
But then he's in one of the they used to do shows where they would come out once in a while in between the acts and do silly things. There's Dad. Yay! So, and Dad was a clown and he'd make those clown balloons. Yeah. You know, the poodles and my room was filled with them. It was like, please don't. I don't need any more of these flipping.
Quit practicing.
He was practicing his craft. And I would have all of these flipping balloons in my room, and I'd be like, "Oh God, I can't take it." Oh. So no, Dad was a clown. Mom made me a clown. It was what made me into the complete and utter wreck that I am. Oh, so
but that was a real nice trip down memory lane a little bit.
A little bit.
Yeah, that was it's good. So I guess what we want to hear from listeners is, what did your parents do, or what were they maybe involved in good deeds or whatever, that did you find them embarrassing, or did you find it endearing? So let us know on our Facebook page. Also, make sure while you're checking out our Facebook page to go to our website, dysfunctionjunkies.buzzsprout.com. If you're enjoying our show or even a particular episode, you can help support us by donating one time or do a reoccurring donation. We would appreciate it. We love hearing all your feedback. So let us know how we're doing or what you want us to talk about. We're always looking for episode ideas.
Yes, please do.
All right, junkies, we will see you next week. Thanks for joining.
Thank you. Bye-bye.